Is the 4-year bull cycle still intact, or are we going to change that now that these factors are in play? Plus, whales are quietly scooping up these 3 altcoins after the market sell-off yesterday. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, this is not financial advice, and we wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for X Spaces Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, guys. Not too much to say different on Bitcoin today that we didn't say yesterday. This is the perfect area that I was looking for a high time frame and daily retest. One thing I was saying, and I don't want to enter too soon because you see here, we had this liquidation candle here that came down. And a lot of times what happens is people enter on this candle and they'll enter somewhere around here and they'll put their stops below this candle. But what you see it happen here is they actually dumped below the candle. They took out the stops of everyone who just entered late last night as well. So everyone who had their stops below here then got taken out, and now it looks like it wants to continue higher. So this is why we're kind of waiting a little bit to see, but also why we put our stops, below this $109,000 level or below $106,000 or $107,000 right here, because it was a very predatory wick to come and take out everyone who put their stops below this candle here. So now I think ultimately we will probably be going up over the next couple of days. I know we have the Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking today. We have a couple other macro factors going on this week as well. And so we also have Trump speaking today. A lot of people think he's going to be talking about crypto, but I don't think he's talking that much about it. But that is one of the factors at play today, why the market is kind of going sideways right now after this big liquidation that we had the other day. So I think we are ultimately going to go up. We might chop around for a couple of days, but I think if we hold this level here and we don't just continue downwards, I think this is a great level to be getting into Bitcoin or other altcoins at similar levels, because this is, the perfect retest that we are looking for on the high time frame before I think we head higher. And so that is what we're going on today. Now we have Crypto Rover saying historically when September ends in the green, the next 2 to 6 months often follow suit. We're up 4.15% with 7 days left in the month, and Q4 is shaping up to be very promising for Bitcoin. So you can see here the Bitcoin monthly returns, even after we had that sell-off yesterday, we're still up 4.15%. And you can see here, based on these other years of 2024, 2023, 2016, and 2015, each year when we had a nice green September, we have often followed suit for the next 3-ish months. It didn't happen as much in 2024, but still, you can see pretty nice gains in the following months. So Q4 is historically very bullish. Hopefully it continues in the same suit. And then we have Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital talking about some really good points as to why the crypto cycle might change from the traditional 4-year cycle. We might have a whole crypto mega cycle, and he's got some pretty good points here.
Do you guys think the 4-year cycle's over for crypto in general, or do you think that like end of this year there's some sort of top and next year is back into a bear market?
It's a great question. I spent all night thinking about it. Listen, these are very hard calls. We are moving into a world where we've got central banking independence really a question. We've never had that in my 40-year career in Wall Street. And so depending on who Trump picks as the next Fed governor, it could kick off a whole freaking mega cycle, right? We throw so many independents into the toilet and crypto's going a lot higher, right? And so the political situation makes that prediction harder. Mm-hmm. The Fed just cut rates. They're going to cut at least one more time, probably 2 more times. Is it strange they cut rates when the stock market's on an all-time high, gold is on an all-time high, crypto's on? Yeah, it is. There was political pressure, some. But they are also wrestling with this thing we never had to think about before, which was AI, the great job destroyer. Mm-hmm. And it's going to destroy jobs. You can see it already, especially young people's jobs, high-paying ones.
The other thing I would add is, Mike just touched on executive branch, Fed independence. But, I honestly think what might end up being the biggest thing when we look back in 20 years is Congress. And we just passed the Genius Act a couple months ago. Stable coins are now recognized by United States Congress. I think we're going to get the Clarity Act passed hopefully in the next couple months here. Fingers crossed. I was in DC last week talking with Senator Scott and a bunch of others on some of these issues. And then, of course, we have Chair Paul Atkins, who announced Project Crypto. And he said unequivocally, we're going to move U.S. securities markets on chain. It's with that backdrop, it's, I think probably the right historical comp to think about here is the Telecommunications Act of 1996. And when Congress passed that act and President Clinton signed it, that is really what laid the groundwork for the internet to grow. It gave companies the confidence to build fiber for guys like Cisco to build all the routers and the infrastructure, for Intel to build all the chips and all the memory and all that stuff, for Microsoft and all the software makers, to make all the apps. And I think the Genius Act and now soon the Clarity Act, when we look back 20 years from now, it's going to be pretty obvious that that was the watershed moment.
And then moving on to XRP, we have a 30 million XRP was bought by whales in the past 24 hours. So the whales are buying this dip heavily. We also have Ripple unveils the next phase of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger with $1 billion plus in stablecoin volume, live compliance tools, and upcoming native lending protocol. And bullish for XRP holders, a new liquid staking token for non-US and UK XRP holders lets you earn up to 8% yield via Axelar. And so XRP is looking decent here. We have this area where we came down here and it swept this. And this is kind of what I like to see before next leg higher. A lot of times you often have to sweep the lows below here to take out everyone's stops in order to get the liquidity to then push higher. And we're kind of seeing that right now. And while XRP isn't in my favorite position compared to some other alts we're going to see in here in a second, this is what I would like to see. I'd like to see us make a high, make a low, and then make another high even higher and, form the uptrend. And this is where I'd enter on this second higher low here. I'd enter right here, wherever this might be. It might not be exactly here at $2.95. Maybe we head a little bit lower, and then this whole thing kind of just shifts down here. Wherever this kind of structure forms is where I'd want to enter this kind of pattern here. And that's what I'm looking for, because usually what happens is we take out one side of the range, we take out the stops below one side, and we pretty quickly head back to the other side of the range. And so we've done that here now with the stops taken below $2.70. I do think we'll probably pretty quickly go back up towards the top of this range, at least towards $3 and $3.50. In the coming weeks and months, especially with more potential rate cuts in October. And then moving on, we also have Ally Chart saying over 800,000 Chainlink has been bought by whales in the recent dump. And at the same time, a 5.5 million Chainlink has been withdrawn from crypto exchanges in the past 24 hours. So they're buying Chainlink and they're taking it off exchanges after this recent dip. We also have Chris Barrett saying Chainlink is everywhere, from the US to Japan, Brazil to Switzerland, Singapore to Saudi Arabia. The world is moving on chain through Chainlink. And you can see the top countries where Chainlink is powering the future of finance. Obviously, we have the US, Brazil, Japan, and a bunch of big countries here. And then we have Chainlink saying DeFi is now at an all-time high with $300 billion in total value locked. From the beginning, Chainlink has played the critical role of accelerating DeFi's growth by pioneering the decentralized Oracle platform that enables the launch of advanced DeFi applications like Aave. And 6 years after Chainlink's mainnet launch, the DeFi economy now consists of hundreds of dApps across dozens of blockchains, securing hundreds of billions of dollars in real value, backed by proven blockchain and Oracle network infrastructure. Fueling the growth of DeFi, Chainlink has enabled tens of trillions of dollars in value and is now the standard for data, cross-chain compliance, privacy, and legacy system connectivity, as well as on-chain and off-chain orchestration, the only unified platform that encompasses every one of these services. Today, Chainlink is actively bringing the world's largest financial institutions on-chain, building towards a future where DeFi TVL is measured not in the billions, but in the trillions. So DeFi TVL is secured by Chainlink now at a new all-time high of $300 billion. And if we go to Chainlink's chart right here, we had a very similar thing. We took out the stops below here, which I love to see for the next move up. And I do think we head back towards these new highs around $27, $28-ish dollars. After we get a nice level reclaim somewhere around here, around $22, what you could do is you could take a position similar to this, where you put your stops below here, you wait for a level reclaim, and then you target back towards either these highs or these highs here. But I really like that as a Chainlink position. This is one I'd prefer to take versus XRP right now, just because of how much more clean it kind of looks on the chart. And so this is one I would like to take for Chainlink. If we get a retest back above 22.20-ish, somewhere around there, this is looking pretty good for Chainlink. And then moving on to the biggest coin of the day, we have Avalanche, which is completely unfazed by the recent dip. We also have Hive Mind to spearhead a $550 million strategy with AgriForces at the first NASDAQ-listed firm focused on Avalanche ownership. And after the deal closes, the company will rebrand as AVAX One. So a NASDAQ, DAT company going on right now, which is actually rebranding to AVAX One. So they're going all in. We also have AVAX has just flipped a Chainlink to become the number 12 top cryptocurrency. And at the same time, we have AVAX dominates in the past in just 30 days, 33 projects, up 112% growth, 417 million in TVL, and 2.76% market share. Avalanche isn't just participating, it's taken over. So you can see the RWA league table, Avalanche number 1 in the past 30 days, right above BNB Chain and XRP Ledger. And we also have Yano saying Avalanche booming, DEX volumes, stablecoin transfers, active layer 1s, and Bitcoin volume all going crazy. So Avalanche seems to be the rotational layer 1 going on right now. At the same time, Avalanche's DeFi has hit its highest TVL since August 2022. So a lot of money has been pouring into Avalanche. And it looks like whales are bullish on AVAX. This recent whale opened a 5x long on AVAX for $17.2 million. Meanwhile, an advisor to World Liberty Finance opened a 10x long to AVAX just an hour ago. And if a World Liberty Financial advisor is opening an AVAX long, you might know something. And then we also have Anthony Scaramucci, who is doubling down on Avalanche.
There's a couple of very good layer one technologies like Solana, Ethereum, and Avalanche that we believe are going to be the future of tokenization. And so we made a big bet on this alongside of HiveMind and the Avalanche Foundation. And we're going to have a digital asset treasury for Avalanche. It's a smaller token in terms of market cap relative to the bigger ones. But lots of big corporate CTOs, Andrew, are picking up Avalanche as part of their story to tokenize their funds or potentially even tokenize their stocks.
We just talked about BlackRock and Visa as examples of that.
JP Morgan.
And are they using that instead of Solana or Ethereum?
No, I think we believe in a multi-chain world, but I think what's interesting about Avalanche, they have something called subnets so that you can do some customization on the chain through the contract layering on the token. So it allows for people to sort of have their own digital fingerprint. I often say that Avalanche is like a Swiss Army knife of layer one, so it's got a lot of flexibility.
And if you guys remember, we charted this out a while ago, and this is exactly what I draw all the time for these different charts. And this fully played out as soon as it broke back above this level, which is right here. You can see as soon as it broke back above, it filled in this complete inefficiency extremely quickly, and it's already gone up and tested this level of $35.46. And so right now, we had this dip, and then we came back up and retested again. And so right now, what I imagine is going to happen over the next couple of days is because it's one of the stronger coins, and we've seen all these new DAT companies coming out and buying Avalanche. Either Bitcoin also continues to go up, and this thing kind of consolidates underneath here and then blasts through this level of support like we did right here, where it didn't give a perfect retest because it's bullish. It's probably going to blast through again and head back higher, or we're going to reject. We're going to come back down here and then, consolidate somewhere down here. I'm guessing we're going to be here and then just blast through to the next level after this, because this is one of the stronger altcoins right now compared to the other ones. And so I think this is probably the rotational play right now, where it's ETH, then Solana, then Avalanche finally got its turn. And so now I think we're going to see different rotations between different layer ones as different DAT companies come out and start buying them. So I like AVAX here. There's nothing to do yet. You can just kind of wait for a kind of consolidation around this area. You could wait for a level reclaim above this area, but I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get a perfect reclaim like we didn't get down here. And so that might not be a good kind of a bet. You might want to wait for consolidation here and put some stops below this area down here and target back up towards, I think we're probably going back towards these highs, probably around, what is this, $44.40. So I think this is probably the next range to get back up to. We'll blast through here. There's a lot of stops and a lot of liquidity above these highs here. And so I think we'll probably head back towards that $44 range pretty quickly, actually, once we get back above here. And if Bitcoin wants to hold up today as well. And so lastly for today, we have Zero G Labs has launched Aristotle, the largest decentralized AI mainnet. Now this moment marks a big step towards Zero G's goal of making artificial intelligence available to everyone as a public good. From the start, the network is backed by more than 100 ecosystem partners. This includes well-known names like Chainlink, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Coinbase Wallet, Binance Wallet, MetaMask, Anchor, Ledger, Fireblocks, and Figment. The Aristotle mainnet moves Zero G into full production after months of testing on its Galileo testnet. Benchmarks showed it exceeds goals for speed and reliability, proving the system is ready for large-scale AI applications. And unlike many blockchain launches that take time to grow, Zero G is entering the market fully equipped. On day one, indexing, developer tools, and secure data services are live and ready for real workloads. And the network brings together global leaders in cloud services, custody, wallets, and decentralized finance. Validator and developer platforms across the ecosystems are already supporting operations, and in practice, this means AI developers and businesses can start building on Aristotle immediately without having to wait for the infrastructure to mature. And to support its growth, Zero G Labs has raised $35 million through 2 equity rounds. The separate Zero G Foundation added another $30 million earlier this year through an AI node and token sale subscription, highlighting the strong global demand for decentralized intelligence. So that's Zero G Labs launching their AI mainnet, and that is a video for today, guys. And make sure to check out our latest video we just made on why Aster could be the new hyperliquid and everything you need to know about it, which you can find right here.